Derek here, rural investor. Disclaimer, not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own due diligence and consult any financial professionals as you see fit. Interesting week we had. On Thursday, I was thrilled. I had been waiting to buy the income version of Microsoft for, I don't know, a whole year. And I could never pull the trigger. And then, bam, there it was, down 12% because they were too invested in one growth company, even though their numbers were superb. And I was like, boom, pulled the trigger. Felt like $1,000,000. Friday rolls around, and there's a 10 sigma. Nobody needs to know what that means. But essentially, an almost impossible event happens with gold and silver is down 30% in a day. Gold is down, I think it was 10% in a day. And then yesterday morning and again this morning, I open up the phone and boom, Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency, down 20%, and Bitcoin down 10%. And I felt terrible. My wife had to talk me off of my pretend cliff. But I've referenced this before, but I sat, for the last couple hours, and I realized that, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters the same, you can be successful at investing. And that's a line from my favorite poem, If, the thing that sits behind me right here. And I got lucky on Thursday, and so I felt like $1,000,000 because I bought Microsoft cheap. And Friday I felt okay because I'm still way up on my gold and silver income ETFs because I've owned them for some time. Then this weekend I was down in the dumps because the exact same scenario happened, except I had already owned the asset. And that's the thing about this type of investing is that you've got to remember that your ups and downs are really just that. They're imposters. I'm still going to get paid out on Monday for my cryptocurrency because it pays me weekly. I'm still going to get paid out on my gold and my silver once a month. I am still going to get paid out on my Microsoft. As long as I don't think those assets are going to go to zero, my job is to just continue on my plan. I had already planned out this video before that little few events happened. And I was going to talk about how margin investing is the exact same thing as running a small business. I'm trying to reach people like myself who want a homestead, who might have a landscaping business, maybe they plow, they do all sorts of different active, world-engaging activities, and yet a lot of us aren't familiar with the market. And I wanted to talk about how you could buy an excavator, and the job of that excavator is to generate cash. Which it is, and I think a lot of people would understand that, right? You're going to go out and you're going to go spend 80, 100K on this excavator, and its job isn't to go up in value on its own. It's to do work to generate cash that pays for itself and more. And I think that's very, very pertinent to what just happened the last 2 business days, being Thursday and Friday, and then this weekend with cryptocurrency. I didn't buy those assets to go up in value on their own. Do I pick things that are going to maintain value, be able to handle ups and downs? I think that I do. But their job is to generate cash flow. My Bitcoin ETF, the one that I love from Neos, BTCI, it's on the spreadsheet that I published last week. I'll put that again in the description if somebody wants to take a look at options to get you started. I think I'm down like 40% on it from a price standpoint. But it's paid me back almost 30% in income. And so I'm down 20% or in total when I open on Monday, roughly speaking. I've still generated all that cash. I had hoped to get $1.40 a share when I purchased it. Now I'm getting $1. Maybe this month I'll get 90 cents. It costs me less than 15 cents a share to borrow the money to buy all of those shares that I currently own. And so I happen to be one of those people that think cryptocurrency isn't going to zero. And so all that happened to me this weekend is a track on my excavator blew out, or I lost a cylinder and I got to go bring it in, right? And I got to go pay some money to get it fixed. But when it's fixed and working, that machine, that ETF, blocks BTCI. is going to continue to drive income into my portfolio at whatever level that it's at. It was so cheap for me to borrow for the amount of income those things generate, that the disappointment really isn't in the fund, it's in my expectations of what I was going to get over the next 3 to 6 months. And if you just take a step back and go, I am going to be positive on these investments and can accept the ups and the downs a little bit more evenly, income investing is nothing more than running a successful landscaping company, than running a plowing business. It's taking an asset and having it generate so much cash that it's worth your time to invest in, right? Nobody expects that plow, that excavator to be worth more money in 10 years, but you do expect it to generate more cash than you put into it. And that's exactly what these ETFs that are, in the description below that I've talked about for the last several months do. And so hopefully that gives some people maybe some confidence. You see silver down 30%, that just means you can get 30% more shares. As long as you don't think silver is going to zero, this is nothing but a blip on the radar. It's still an opportunity to invest and be profitable and make money and cash flow and get yourself out from behind the desk, in my case, and out into my sheep and goat pen and into the barn. And hopefully later today I'm going to be, hanging up my chainsaws so I can get them all cleaned up and nice and ready for the spring to go clear more land. So hopefully that helps everybody when you see these big ups and downs to maybe be more even keeled. I think the big thing to do is to do nothing and to trust in this process. And so, if that was helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really is super helpful. Very grateful for the people who actually listen to me talk in my garage while I smoke cigars. And so I hope everybody has a nice day. I know that I'm having a nice one.